Have you ever heard someone say, "Why learn that? It's totally useless." And yet, years later, in a life or death moment, that very skill becomes the only thing keeping them alive. Today, you'll discover skills that most people wouldn't bother to learn. But in reality, they're the key to survival when life throws its harshest, most unexpected challenges your way. 1. Knot tying skills. Sounds kinda Boy Scouty, doesn't it? But hear me out. Knot tying isn't just for climbers or weekend campers. It's actually one of the most essential survival skills in countless real-world situations. Picture this. You're alone in the woods, and you need to rig a makeshift stretcher to carry your injured partner. Or maybe your tent ropes are fraying because they were packed wrong. Your backpack straps could suddenly slip loose because they weren't tied tightly enough. Need to lash together a temporary table? Trying to pitch a tent on rocky ground or around tree roots? Saving someone from falling into a ravine? All of those situations demand one thing: knowing exactly which knot to use and how to tie it properly. There are dozens of useful knots out there. Bowline, for securing rope around your waist or body. Clove hitch, for quickly tying around poles or trees. Square knot, for joining two ropes of the same type, but get just one step wrong, or use the right knot in the wrong context, and it might slip, come undone, or cinch down so tight it becomes dangerous. Real scenario. On a solo hike in Colorado, a climber's safety harness came loose due to a faulty metal loop. He quickly tied a bowline around his waist, used a backup rope to secure himself to a fixed anchor, and waited for rescue. The team later said if that bowline had been tied incorrectly, or slipped even a few minutes later, he wouldn't have made it out alive. See what I mean? A skill that looks like it's only good for wrapping gifts or tying your shoelaces might just be the thing that saves your life, or someone else's. 2. Navigating without GPS. You know what? Phone batteries die. GPS signals get lost. But the sun, shadows, and wind, they're always there. In life or death situations, getting deep into the woods or wandering off trail during a hike, knowing how to find your direction can mean the difference between making it out or wandering in circles, lost and desperate. Here's how to tell direction without tech. Watch the sun. It rises in the east, sets in the west. Check shadows. At noon, shadows generally fall north. Look for moss. It tends to grow more on the north side of trees, cooler, more humid. At night, the North Star points you north. Fun fact: ancient travelers covered thousands of kilometers with no maps, just the North Star and moss on trees. Real scenario. During a trek in the Amazon rainforest, GPS signals were blocked by thick clouds and dense canopy. A group of 4 hikers wandered off course for over 3 hours, until one of them remembered the rule. More moss means north. They adjusted their direction and eventually found their way out. So if you ever get lost in the woods tomorrow, don't ask Siri. Ask the sun. 3. Basic first aid. When an accident happens, you have 3 choices: wait for rescue and hope, panic. Or step up and act. First aid isn't just a survival skill. It's a life-saving skill. In many situations, just 1 to 2 minutes of the right action can save someone's life, long before medical help arrives. Common scenarios: stopping open wounds, use fabric, a shirt or towel as a pressure bandage. Controlling bleeding, apply firm pressure for 5 to 10 minutes. Treating broken bones, immobilize the area. Don't try to fix or reset it. Heat stroke, move the person into shade, loosen tight clothing, place a wet cloth on their forehead. Real scenario: at a U.S. high school, an 11th grade student suddenly began choking during lunch. unable to breathe. While others froze in panic, one classmate stepped up and performed the Heimlich maneuver he'd just learned in gym class. Emergency staff later said, had he waited even one more minute, the student could have suffocated. Ever wonder why airlines, the military, and international schools all require first aid training? Because in those 60 seconds, the person who knows what to do decides who lives. 4. Swimming and water self-rescue. I live in the city. Why would I need to know how to swim until a flood hits, a car crashes into a canal, or you're accidentally pushed into a lake? Knowing basic swimming, how to float, and how not to panic, these are the keys to survival. Reality check. Most drowning victims could swim, but panicked and lost control of their bodies. 5. Starting a fire without a lighter. What's more ridiculous than knowing how to make fire without a lighter? Well, if you're lost in the forest, freezing, and the sun's going down, knowing how to spark a flame with rocks, a mirror, or even a phone battery can mean survival. In Nepal, one man survived 7 days by starting fires using just the lens from his glasses and a motorcycle mirror. 6. Cooking from raw ingredients. On a normal day, you can order Grab food, boil water with an electric kettle, and pick your favorite Korean BBQ sauce. But when you're stuck in the wild, cooking isn't about taste anymore. It's about eating to stay alive. This skill includes identifying edible wild plants. Not every green thing is safe. You need to recognize edible leaves, sap, seeds, and shapes. Boiling safe water, using rope, wood, and stones to boil water in a plastic bottle, to kill bacteria. Making fish and insect traps, using plastic bottles, bamboo sticks, branches, and leaves to lure and catch food. In many natural disasters, survivors aren't always the strongest or most trained. They're the most adaptable. The ones who know how to generate energy for their body from whatever's available. Real scenario. During the Costa Concordia shipwreck, one passenger was trapped in a cabin for 36 hours. He survived by using canned goods from the minibar to boil and purify water, and used leaves to control small fires. Lesson. The more of a city person you are, the more you need to know how to live from scratch. Tomorrow, if the Wi-Fi goes out, the power's down, the electric kettle's dead, do you even know how to boil a cup of water? We're living in an age where everything can be bought, rented, or ordered online. But when the systems crash, when the power goes out, the GPS dies, and help gets stuck, the only thing you can rely on isn't an app. It's what you already know and have practiced. Remember, in many situations, you don't get the luxury of learning a skill in the moment. Because when you need it, it has to be ready inside you. The one who saves you in a crisis doesn't have to be a superhero. It might just be the future version of you. So, take another look at the 6 survival skills above. How many do you already know? Which one will you learn next? Start today, before you actually need it. And if you found this video helpful, hit like, share it with your friends, and drop a comment. Which skill will you learn next?